What's up YouTube? Today I have the first or second or joint first, not exactly sure which one it is, place deck profile of Shaddolls at the London Brotherhood Open, and this was taken there from, I would like to say, Team Scotland by Danny Boy, FarfaYGO, Daniel Cairns as many of you would know him. So this is the deck that he's given me and has been nice enough to allow me to profile it on my channel, so big shout out to him. And this is what he played. So I'm just going to talk over it a little bit, kind of explain some choices, and hopefully, you know, if you'd like to net deck this or whatever, you know, I'm sure he doesn't mind. So yeah, we have 3 Hedgehog, Rota, and Searcher of monsters, and the Fusion and Shadow Games when it's flipped face up. So he's running 3 of them. He's running 2 Beast, and I think Beast is a good number personally. I think 3 is far too cloggy. Getting extra draws for nothing basically is, you know, really good. So he's running 2 Falcons, which I personally disagree with. I feel that Falcon is just an unbelievable card and you should run 3. But it worked for him, so that's, you know, totally cool. I can't see any downside to running more than 3. Because you fuse it, it will set itself and you just can keep special summoning out your grave. Because you don't really have any ways to recycle your graveyard with Shaddoll, so. But anyway, he also ran 2 Squamata, Lizard, whatever. The guy who sends an extra one. 2 dragons. I personally like 3 dragon just because the pop effect is really good. But and you know, he's a really, you know, huge normal summon as well if you want to beat over things. But Danny opted to run only 2, and he's also running 2 mathematicians. So that's all for the Shaddolls. It's pretty low Shaddoll count, I think, from most people's builds, I believe. But and that's actually one of the good things about it. He told me that because of the low monster count, that actually helped him a lot. So I can see why, because he is running a bit of back row and just generic, you know, disruption plays with Shadow Games, the Sanctums, the Book of Moon. So I'm sure it worked out great. And yeah, so the rest of the monsters are BLS. He told me this is the best card in the deck, which it usually is in a deck that can run BLS, because the guy's absolutely broken. And he's running triple Morrow attack. So this is an artifact variant. I called this way long ago, just like to point that out, that I thought for Shaddoll Facts would be the best deck. And well, Danny has proven it to be very good. So he's also running MSTs, so 3 don't clog, and worst comes to worst, you fuse it. So 3 Moral Attack is actually not that cloggy, and it also means you don't need to run Bagel Attack because of the fact you can MST it or fuse it. I think it's actually really amazing in the deck. So the artifact variant is very strong in my opinion. And he's also running 3 Fusion and 3 Upstart, which not many people like, but I think this deck really benefits from running Upstart. So I personally feel that's a really good choice. He's also got the 2 MSTs main decked because of the moral tax, I'm going to assume anyway. MST is just like kind of a surprise because a lot of people don't expect you to kind of main deck it now. So I mean, if you run into anything weird like some skill drains or whatever, you've always got that main deck answer. He's also siding the 3rd, so I mean he's got the option for that if he comes up against banished decks and such. But 2 MST in the main, primarily for moral attack, but you know, extra removal is always good. And then for the 1-offs, Foolish, Allure, Book of Moon, and Mind Control. Book of Moon is insane in this deck. A very diverse card. You can flip your own guys face down on the end phase or when they attack. And it's just great because it gets around things like trap stun and stuff if your opponent tries to go off on you. So Book of Moon is very good in this deck. Mind Control as well, because you can mind control something and synchro any of their monsters basically and pretty much make anything you want. So Mind Control is also a really amazing choice there. Again, personally, that's also a reason why I would play 3 Falcon, but that's just my opinion. So onto the traps now. Finally, we got 3 Shadow Games. Best card in the deck, probably, like, at least, you know, after the monsters with BLS. But Shadow Games is absolutely amazing. You end phase Shadow Games to flip your guys up, flip Falcon up to special something on your opponent's end phase, so you can flip it on your turn. Just generic random plays like that. It also gets away from Nobleman, so you flip your guy face up and your opponent can Nobleman them, I think. Very, very, very broken card, because you can send any Shaddoll monster to the deck and to the graveyard. You get their effects off whenever you need it. And then the other 3 of is Sanctum. Danny said that this was absolutely amazing because of the fact that you just have so many disruption plays. It also helps, you know, if people want to blind MST, you know, they'll hit a Sanctum and probably get 2 cards popped for their 1. So not really good to play against, but, you know, definitely very good to run. So 3 Sanctums there. And for all the generic one-offs, you've got Breakthrough. I personally would have ran a couple more Breakthroughs because I think Breakthrough is just absolutely unbelievable this format. Then you've got your Bottomless, your Torrential, your Solemn, your Compulse. So generic one-offs, you always want to open at least 1. And he's running all of the good ones. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. Extra deck, Triple Winda. I'm going to assume he's running 3 because 2, at least in my experience from dueling with the Shaddolls, I don't really think like 3 is needed, but just you're gonna really pay for it if you only run 2 and you need the 3rd. So especially when the new stuff comes out, you know, you could probably cut it down to 2, but Danny opted to run 3 and 2 Construct. You probably don't need any more constructs, I think, but yeah, so he ran 2 constructs and a lot of synchros. So we've got Leo, which you can make with essentially 2 level 4 guys, and the Falco. You've got Mistworm, so you'd have to use like a mathematician instead of a level 4 guy. Mistworm is absolutely broken, like that card's insane. Returning some like things like extra deck cards and stuff, it's really amazing. Mistworm is so good. The only reason a lot of people don't run it is because it's level 9, which is a bit awkward to make for some decks, and even if you can make level 9s quite easily, you need 2 non-tuners. So Mistworm does have that downside. He's got the 1/8 Scrap. I'm assuming he opted to play Scrap over Stardust because of Winda's like inherent destruction protection, so there was really no need for Stardust. 7s, he's got Black Rose, Nuke the Field, why not? Absolutely awesome. Arcanite Magician for the other 7, so he's running 2 7s. 1/6 in the shape of Goyo Guardian. I personally would have thrown a, what's it called? A Sahemoth, because just to get over anything problematic. Sahemoth is a good level 6 for tricky situations. So just 1/6 for him and then Goyo. And I think Samsara is a 5. Yeah, Samsara is a 5. It's one of the new ones. It's actually pretty nuts. It's Monster Reborn for, you know. But it's kind of difficult to pull up. Personally, I would have ran an Armades. I think he was looking for an Armades. Maybe he just didn't get one. But I personally think Armades is very good. And for some XCs, he's running Volcasaurus, which I personally disagree with because I feel like getting 2 5s out is very awkward. But Volcasaurus wins games without a doubt. So big burn damage there, and yeah, it's really awesome card. I just don't feel like the deck has a lot of space for it, especially because Danny's only running the 1 rank 4 in the space of in the shape of Castell, and Castell is absolutely nuts on his own. But I feel like including something like an Exton as well would have been pretty good. And for 1 rank 3, he's got Dante. Personally, I don't like Dante in the deck. I don't like the mill variants of Shaddoll. So the ones that run things like Curry Bandit, I really despise them. Just because of the fact that you've got, you want to control what you mill. You don't want to like send multiples. You don't want to like get rid of your good traps and stuff. So, but yeah, that's his deck. Oh, just quickly over the side deck, Triple Max C, probably for. Can't really think. What really special? The Satellar guys, they special summon a lot. Just what? Oh, Infernity, of course, as well. And then he's got 3 zombie worlds. I'm going to assume this is for spellbooks. Spellbooks pretty good Shaddoll matchup, so that's that. Got the 2 Xeon cores for what I would assume would be Evil Swarm, because Evil Swarm is very tough for this deck as well, because it stops your moral attacks, it stops your fusions, and you don't really have any way to kind of get over it. So Xeon core is in there for Ophion. He's got the 2 Super Polys. I'm going to assume for the Mirror, and Nobleman also I'm going to assume for the Mirror. The 3rd MST for that extra floodgate removal. And finally 2 Vanities, because being a degenerate asshole with Vanities up like with a wind or whatever is pretty good. So that's his deck profile. Feel free to use it, as I said. If you have any questions or whatever, I can happily pass them on. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like, etc. So thank you.